My name is Ingaru Viola Bayo. I'm a writer, but I gear towards poetry most. I've always loved summarized form of things, so I think poetry became like the food for me. I used to do my poetry as solo, and I never really used to do it for public and for public consumption. I used to do it for myself, for my friends, for my family. It was just like a small circle kind of thing. So being here in Kujeleza and undergoing this whole courses has made me realize that I'm no longer content being in the shadows anymore. I want to come out and I want to promote big. Working with this group of people has made me realize that poetry poetry is like the foundation for most of creative arts. I didn't even know that poetry could actually produce a script that could be produced into a film. But you people have made that possible and you've made me believe. So I really thank you so much for the opportunity.
I guess from today's workshop, I can say today has been enlightening. I've gotten to uncover some of the things that probably I was not noticing. So it has helped me notice these things here. So it has been a moment of enlightenment for me, and I'm sure for many of the guys who came through today. I'm sure there's something that we all picked up in relation to film and creative arts. Uh, I'm getting to realize that actually we can turn a lot of these things that we do into money making opportunities. We can actually earn from these things here, be it even the smallest thing, an instrumentalist or somebody who is probably a writer, because out here in Uganda we don't see that as like a feasible idea. That is why actually some of us are trying to push creative arts, but today has given me more hope that actually that this is possible, and we just need to actually network more and plan a little bit more, because I think the planning process is has come out as a clear factor that we need to do. We need to plan for these things here. We need to set goals and be able to work towards them. uh First off, I already have my year plan 2022. So obviously, from this, some of the films that I'm going to actually produce, I'm going to apply some of the things that we learn to make sure actually the stories that I tell, they point out some of those things. I'll use everything that has been put here into practice. From what Dillman said, using making sure I have an intro for my story and making sure the body really describes what I'm doing, and the outro should be something that probably the conclusion should leave a mark. So I'm going to make sure I actually have stories that can touch people, and I'm going to make sure actually I turn all my arts into money making opportunities. That is what I'm looking at. Yeah. Thank you. All right.
My real name's Armani Justice Kenneth, aka your boy Ken. Um, Basically, I am a photographer slash a videographer. I do a lot of other things, but I major in those. About the experience that I've had with Kujeleza, um, it was very beautiful that they called it the Kujeleza experience, because it is a very wonderful experience altogether. When I came through, it was a situation of okay, give me this, I give you this. Let us learn together. That kind of situation. So it was
DJ Popper. By the word DJ, you already know I'm a DJ. So I am also a music producer. A recording artist. I'm a recording artist. I rarely perform. I hardly perform, so I don't call myself a performing artist. And I've been scripted to act too before, so maybe I'm an actor. I don't think there was any session I missed. Then next came the adaptation class, yeah. Though it was a bit challenging since I'm an audio guy, I was able to pick a couple of things. And actually, right now, I'm pretty confident that I can be able to tell somebody on the camera, like, you should do this, you should do that. Then we went for audio, I think, which is basically my sector. And there was also a couple of things that I didn't know, like Mr. Dillman, though he doesn't like to be called Mr., said where the audio had to be normalized to -6 decibels and all that. I didn't know about that. And then I also got to know that those other, what do I call them? Like the environment, the sound of the environment is actually artificially added. Like you first record, then you can add that to the audio of the whole thing, the movie.
You saw my babies carry me in the dead of the night, in flimsy see-through night dresses, bare feet and cold, trying to combat my cardiac arrest, losing the innocence of their childhood on that dark, tree-hooded, weather-beaten road. You heard the siren wailing and calling shots on my life, trying to dodge Wandegear's labyrinth of a traffic jam. The driver wishing the ambulance was a Pegasus, yet no doctors in wait for my failing heart. Relatives taking flight at every phone call. You then came and saw my body, serene and peaceful at last in that mortuary. And you wept loudest, giving me sweet names, recalling wrongly updated versions of our story, calling every mourner to your side as my children went mute with grief, wondering about the mass overrunning the compound. You saw it all.